Well, hey there, everybody. I have no idea why that opening scene the movie didn't play, the sound didn't play. So I just had to go live quickly because it was boring me. And there's a question already in chat. The build character features from the character creation scene. Good scene. Got it up right now. How do I save that data in serialization to save in third-party save game assets like dialogue system? Well, I am not aware of how dialogue system for Unity. I'm aware of the asset, but I'm not aware of how it works. However, the way this is saved currently, and I'm about to change all of it, so there's that. But the way it's saved currently, I believe, is demo game data. And this is the class that is serializable. Players are here, and all their data is here, and stuff is saved there, therein. So that's where it is saved. You would have to save, it depends on how you want, what data you want to save, but you can save this whole class structure. That seems overkill, probably. But I'm going to change all of this because while the scene works, it does not use the game modules, and I want to use the game modules. So this is the scene as it is right now. Just basically, I mean, in a lot of games you wouldn't start fully armored based on your class, but in this scene you do, just because I want to demonstrate various things. And it works. The scene works great, but I want it to use the game modules so that the stats, etc., are using that module. And I also have other things I wanted to get to. I don't know if I'll get to, but I wanted to get to TextMesh Pro. I don't think I'm using TextMesh Pro for this. I know I have it installed in the project, but I think these are all just regular UI text, yeah. And also Cinemachine, but I don't think I'm going to get to those two things. But earlier today, before the impromptu live stream with Jason Wyman, Jason Storey, David, and Uri, before that, I was working on this, or during that, I was working on this, and I realized I should do a live stream. I had to go to lunch with family, and now I'm back because I was setting up the game modules for this, basically to replace this stuff with game modules. I figured it would be a worthy stream to basically do that live. So I was setting up my character classes, basically these, and now I'm going to set up character erases. So right click, create. Game modules, create item attribute, and this is going to be human. And we'll just duplicate this. We already have a human. I can't have two named human. Elf, we probably have two named elf as well now too. Let's see. Okay, what I'll do is name then humans, elves, and half orcs. So you can only have one per name, and the demos for the game modules have other ones. I want to keep this separate. Oh, hello, Uri. How are you? My character creation scene. Yes. I also need these to be unique IDs. Since I copied the object, it copied the unique ID, so that will reset it. They need to be unique. Otherwise, why would I call them unique IDs if they weren't unique? So we'll just call them elves, half-orcs, and humans. And that will be fine there. Male and female, we're going to create that as well, I suppose. I could make it. I already have probably gender. Let me see if I have gender. Let me just copy this and say male and see if we get the error. Do I already have a male in the project? I do. So I think I will. What is using female then? There's a lot of male and female things. Excuse me. Yep, this is the demo for the item attributes. I suppose I could use this. It will have no effect on the final result. But if you have the character creation scene without the game modules, that would be an issue. So what I'll do is instead, I don't want to, oh, that's the item attributes. Okay, yeah. So instead, because I don't want to mess things up, I will create a new one. Call this gender. Of course, there are very many more genders than male and female, but we will go binary for now to keep things simple. Item attribute, and we'll call this males and females. And I'm just including the S on the end because I need to keep them separate. Females. These will have no effect on the end result, on the stats. So we'll just keep that there. All right. And I've created some stats. All the ones we see here plus hit points and magic points, and hit points and magic points max. I'm not going to create other stats. Yeah. That's right. I could say elf race, human race, male race. That's male gender. That is true. That is a good idea. And you'll notice that the item object is always going to be named whatever the name of the scriptable object is. And the type, races, is going to be the folder it's in. That's how that works in this system. So I think that's all the setup I need to do for that, except I do need to set up how these are all linked together. So we're going to do that now. Let's see if I can remember the magic points, because in my general demonstration of saying the magic points, it's a little bit of a logic trip to get from personality and or wisdom to magic points. But let's start with hit points. So hit points are really from stamina. So let's see, stats. So hit points max. Actually, is it hit point max? What is it? I'm trying to think off the top of my head now. What am I doing in Legend of the Stones? It's not that. It's actually, you get that from your class and your gender. So we're going to let's see, can we do it this way? If I manage all of them and go on their stats, no, let me see. So this is going to affect hit points max. And okay, so I just need to add this to all of them first. All right, so I'll do that. And of course, it's showing more stats than what we see because it's showing stats from the entire project, which include all the demo scenes for the game modules as well, which is why there are a lot more stats here. But we're going to only use the stats that we've put up here, so that if, for whatever reason, you have the character creation scene without the game modules, of course, it's going to be required. So, Actually, I think that's why I hadn't done it before. Let's see. Oops, wrong button. Force quit. Asset store. Game modules. Oh, no, wrong one. Character creation. Character creation. I think I have it set up so that you don't, yeah, it's a standalone thing, which is why it's no longer going to be standalone. After this update, this is going to be, well, the old version will still exist, and I'll keep that there, but the new version is going to require game modules because it's better. That's why, in case you were asking. Hit points max. I should have done this before I copied them. Oh well. No big deal. Alright, so we're going to make arbitrary numbers here, but on all of these, we're going to say that the hit points max will be, we'll just say 25 for Barbarian, 35, Cleric 25, Druid 20, whoops, not 252, 20. I'm basically saying the strict magic users are going to be 20, the mixed ones will be 25, and the so the Cleric should be 20 then. Where's Cleric? And the Barbarian will be 35 because the Barbarian won't have any magic. So that's how many hit points max you'll have just for being them. And then we're also going to add an additional boost per stamina. So we're going to add this to all of these. We'll go up. So click, 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 click. And then this is going to say, hey, for every point in stamina, you're going to get some more hit points. So we're going to keep this relatively simple. For the mixed ones, we'll say 0.75. And for the not mixed ones, we'll say 1. But for Barbarian, we'll give an extra 1.1. And for the strict magic users, we'll say 0.5. That means if you have 10 stamina, you'll have an extra 5 hit points. And 1 for that. And mage will be 0.5. And paladin 0.75. Scout 0.75. All right. So that's the hit points max. And then magic point max is going to be derived from in a slightly different way. And I like including this because it shows the way you can use the stats to kind of path your way from A to B through C, if that makes any sense. So we're going to create a new stat, and game module create stat, and we're going to call this magic points source. Let me see if I do this right. And so magic points source is going to affect magic points max, and it's basically going to say that the per skill point 1. So for every skill point in magic, no, not that. Let's see, magic point source. Let's add that for the value of final stat. No, final stat. Okay, so 1 value in magic point max for every final stat of magic point source. So if magic point source final stat is 15, multiply that by 1, that would be your magic point max. All right. And magic point source is going to be created through either wisdom, personality, or both. And that's why we need this sort of middle ground that everything can feed to magic point source, which then feeds to magic point max. And that's because some of these are going to affect magic point source and some are not. Archer is, Barbarian will not, Cleric will. And we'll just go through those. The ones that can use magic, essentially. Knight cannot for this, but the rest can. And this is the Might and Magic style, by the way. All right. And so now if we go back here just to see them all, our magic points source is going to be, for the mixed ones, we'll say 10. For the strict ones, we'll say 20. Mage 20, 10, and 10, not whatever that is. And then we'll add a new source from another stat here. Oh, no, not a new source. But yes. And we will add wisdom, and for the scout and the mage and the druid and the archer. The names are up here. And then personality for the, oh, that's interesting. Why did that get different? For the cleric and also for the druid. Why can't I scroll here? There we go. Oh, that's weird. Oh, interesting. It won't let me scroll over more. Interesting. All right, well. Huh. Okay. Well, I'll have to do this a different way then. I'll have to fix that bug. So that has personality. This one has personality. Paladin has it already, and Scout should get it as well. All right, so whereas stamina has a direct effect on hit points max, we want wisdom, or we'll go with archer for now. We want wisdom to affect magic points max. So we'll say for every wisdom you get 0.75, or we'll say we'll just say 1 based on the final stat. All right, and the mage will get 1.5 based on the final stat, and I can just turn that off. It's whoops, not 15, 1.5. And for this one, I'll turn this off. That'll be just a little easier. I can do that for the, just to visualize it better, and then that's fine. And for cleric, this is going to be personality 0.5 for the final stat. I did final stat for the mage as well. Did I? Yes, I did. Okay. For the druid, though, druid is different. Both of these are going to affect magic point source. We're going to say instead of 1.5, it's going to be an average of the two. So we're going to take 0.75 for each. Yeah, that's how the druid and scout will work. Knight doesn't have any. Mage has that set up. For the paladin, 0.75 for the final stat, and for the scout, scout is a mixture from the druid and the fighter. So instead of 0.75, 0.375 for each of these. 0.37. Or did I say 1 for the other? I said 1, huh? So let me make that 0.5. And make sure we do final stat. Final stat. Paladin is 1. And mage is 1.5. Druid, yep, 1.5 total. 1.5. Archer is 1. Okay. So that should technically pass through to the magic points max. The wisdom affects magic points max, or magic point source, and magic point source directly affects magic points max. So that's how we get that. All right. I also need to add some UI here to display the magic points and hit points, or maybe I'll add it down here or something. I'll add it somewhere. All right. And then the other thing I kind of want to do is go to my races and add a similar thing to these. where we do settings and do our names here. I should do that for the classes as well. Human and half orc, and then stats. These are going to affect magic points source and hit points max. What's this? Break. This should not have happened. Good thing I wrote it. Apparently I've got a found none. What am I trying to find? Make compute order. Create a temporary copy of the affected by list. Oh, hold on 1 second. Huh, I thought I heard something, but I didn't. I wonder why that happened. Let's see if we can make it happen again. Magic point source. Add. Huh. I'll have to look into that. I'm not sure why that's happening. The end result is what I expect to happen. This gets added. Huh. Odd. Oops. Got my targets right. No sources. Yeah, who knows? I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. But the end result seems to be working. So I'll run with it for now. Yeah, so each of these is going to have an effect as well. We will say that elves get 20 magic points, half orcs get 5, and humans get 15. Maybe 25 to the elves. But we also want to give them some other stats. So we're going to say that the elves have more wisdom. Down here. And yeah, I don't know what's going on here. It didn't happen with the other item attributes. Oops, not wisdom for that one. Half orc is going to have more, we'll say stamina, because that'll have an effect that we can see. And the humans will have none. So, yeah. Actually, what we can do is give these ones a negative stamina and a negative wisdom, so you can kind of see how that plays into it too. Oh, wrong thing. I didn't want that. Let me go back to inspector mode here. All right, so hold on 1 second. Well, I